Virgin Media Shorts, championing undiscovered talent.
Normally I come up with a premise for my films based on what's immediately available for the budget. So a lot of the short films that I started making at the very beginning of my career were self-funded. So I would look to what kind of free facilities we had to make it seem like it was a higher budget. Whether we had access to particularly striking locations or whether anyone knew a star that would come down for a day for expenses only, that kind of thing. And since then I've been looking to take elements from my own life. Because I'm quite a young filmmaker, I don't necessarily want to be telling stories about experiences that I haven't had, so I've been telling stories through the eyes of characters that are my age or younger so far. The first film I did was a feature film called Strings, which I financed off my own back for £3,000. Part of that was from an online competition, which I entered a very low-budget short film onto, and I got £1,000 from that. But the rest of it was self-financed, and that gave us a lot of kind of creative control over that project. And since then, I've been able to use that film to show people what I can do on a limited budget and get them to trust me to put in a bit more money to see what I can do with actually a reasonable budget. I think the best thing that came out of any short that I've ever made has been it's been recognition for everything else that I've done. I've been working on my feature film Strings for the last 2 years, and I've been doing shorts in between that. One of them was the Sci-Fi London 48-hour film competition, which did really well. It won the BFI Feature Film Award and came second in the main competition. And the best thing about that is that people went back and looked at my previous work, and they looked at my website and saw that I was working on a feature film, so it gained a lot of kind of press for that, which then helped when we released it. I think you get different things out of making short films. You get to experiment a bit more, especially since I started self-shooting and I started self-editing as well. So I had a lot more kind of creative freedom, and I could experiment, knowing that it would only be my problem later down the line if it didn't work, because I'd be the editor. So I'd do a lot of lower budget short films to kind of try out ideas and then see if they'd be feasible to do on a larger scale. I think I found the best way to get my shorts in front of an audience was by doing competitions, whether online competitions like the Virgin Media Shorts or competitions like the 48-hour Sci-Fi. Just because people will watch those films, and you can use them to test collaborations as well. Rob Watson, who's producing my next feature film, first worked with me on a competition film, which was made in 48 hours. So it was a very intense kind of working relationship, and we found that since we worked very well in that kind of a microcosm of a feature by making this crazy 48-hour short film, it meant that we could test the strength of our relationship as director and producer up front, and then we felt confident to go on and make a feature together.
Virgin Media Shorts, championing undiscovered talent.